Lindell made the announcement yesterday saying he made the move to focus full-time on his campaign for Minnesota governor. Cross your fingers. Lindell has also reduced his ownership in the company to a minority stake. He'll remain on the board of directors. He says the decision is about putting Minnesota above himself and stepping forward to serve. James Furlong will take over as CEO. He previously served as president of the company from 2004 to 2019. Now, this is just days ahead of Minnesota's Republican gubernatorial primary, and that's coming up on August 11th. Now, Lindell's currently leading in the polls for the GOP nomination, heavily bolstered by an endorsement from Donald Trump. That can never hurt. He faces competition from state party-endorsed candidate Kendall Qualls of Minnesota House Speaker Lisa DeMuth. The winner of the GOP primary will likely face Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar in November, and Amy Klobuchar needs to go. She did some stuff in the last election that they are still investigating. She needs to get out of there.
Hey, didn't you run into her?
I did run into her at Hugo's in East Grand Forks about a month ago, a couple of weeks ago, and it was funny because I was talking to a friend of mine in there, and he goes, "Hey, Amy Klobuchar's here," and I'm like, "What? Wow, no way." "Yeah, she's right over there with a couple guys," and I'm like, "Oh, sure, she's there." And we talked. Well, I kind of forgot about it. And Hugo's in East Side. You get done at the checkout, and you walk through the little entry where the carts go and stuff, and my head's down. I'm just getting ready to walk out the door, and it says, "Good afternoon, sir." And I look up, and there I am, face to face with Amy Klobuchar. I didn't know what to say, so she says, "Good afternoon," and I went, "Ick." And she just stared at me for a minute, and then I didn't know what else to say, so I said, "Ick," again. And then I said, "Go home," and I walked out the door. And she just stood there with a dumbfounded look on her face. But
that's awesome.
Yeah. Now, there's been some stuff going on with Lindell now. Minnesota GOP establishment has formally questioned Lindell's constitutional residency status, pointing out that he lived in Texas as recently as 2025. Now, state rules require a candidate to be a resident for 1 full year before the general election. Lindell has called the inquiry a hit job, providing pay stubs and tax records to prove he reestablished Minnesota residency in August of 2025. He's also fighting a lawsuit claiming he violated state campaign finance laws. The complaint alleges, now this is what they're mad at. He distributed promotional Mike Lindell for governor pillows during a July 4th parade. Oh boy, Lindell maintains that the promotional items complied with all regulations. So they're getting pissed at him because he gave away free pillows. He is the My Pillow guy.
But everybody loves his pillows. I don't know why I don't
We've
have
got
one.
them. We've got them. I absolutely love them.
I need to get one because of my neck.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that will help. I absolutely love his pillows. Again, folks, we are having some computer issues, but this show will be replayed again a little bit later on, and it all should be good. So all I know is something needs to be done about Minnesota. And the governor, of course, Walz, he's a lame duck governor right now. I don't know why he just doesn't hide in the woods like he did during the pandemic and during the last election, because he wouldn't even go and he wouldn't debate. He wouldn't do anything. He just hid in his basement during the pandemic, which was not a pandemic in my opinion, but we just need to do something. We need to get back into Republican-run government again in Minnesota because
Minnesota is such a shit show.
Oh, it is. It is. And the state used to be such a beautiful place to go. I mean, you go down, you've got the Twin Stadium, which is beautiful. The football stadium is incredible. You've got the Mall of America. You've got the Minnesota Zoo. You've got Valley Fair. You've got all of these places down in Minneapolis, St. Paul. And nobody wants to go to them anymore because you don't dare go to them. You don't dare park. You don't dare walk. You don't dare do anything down there because, like you said, it's an S-hole for sure.
Yeah. I mean, even the Mall of America is just a hangout for Somalians now.
Oh, yeah. And speaking of that, and speaking of, Somalians and Minnesota governorship and being in government, how about Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey facing a strict court order to increase police staffing, addressing recent mass shootings and managing city budget challenges following intense local friction with federal immigration enforcement operations earlier this year. And we're going to get to the ICE thing. So a Hennepin County judge ordered Jacob Frey and city leaders to raise Minneapolis Police Department staffing to the charter-mandated minimum of 703 officers or face trial. Right now, they're at 638. So they're almost 100 short. 93 officers have to be sworn in. You had back-to-back weekend mass shootings in Minneapolis. Frey called the violence unacceptable, emphasized the push for immediate arrests and prosecutions. City continues to grapple with investigative hurdles and department shortages while searching for new preventative community safety tools. They've got a... Okay.
Let me interrupt you really quick, because so this dipshit, Mayor Jacob Frey,
the one that dances with the Somalians and eats their food and all of that kind of stuff.
So he's talking about, putting these ICE agents in prison. But you just said there were a couple of mass shootings over the weekend?
That was a couple of weeks ago, yeah.
Okay. Who committed them?
Yeah, right.
Because I can almost guarantee you that they were probably immigrants.
Yep, and I guarantee you it wasn't ICE.
Yeah.
City's got a budget gap, about $33 million. Maybe if they'd get back some of the money that was stolen, that would be a start. So during Immigration and Custom Enforcement's Operation Metro Surge, that was the big crackdown that went from December 2025 through mid-March of 2026, federal agents made a total of 4,030 arrests across Minnesota. Of course, a lot of that was spanning in the Minneapolis-St. Paul metro area. So 4,030 people detained during the peak operation. That was roughly 49 arrests per day, which doesn't seem that much in the state of Minnesota. Thousands of federal personnel were deployed specifically in the Minneapolis-St. Paul region, resulting in widespread neighborhood enforcement actions and traffic stops. And that's where everybody was getting mad. Now, they've got this breakdown here, but I'm not going to bring that up. But what I do want to bring up after all of this is now Jacob Frey states, he stated that local prosecutors must be willing to put ICE agents behind bars. He made these comments during an endorsement video for Anders Folk, a candidate for Hennepin County Attorney. So now his statement, it's kind of a culmination of a month-long standoff between Minneapolis city leaders and the Trump administration's aggressive federal immigration crackdown. That's Operation Metro Surge. Frey's repeatedly accused ICE agents of sowing chaos and operating a disruptive force in civilian. Chaos, go down there right now, try to drive around Minneapolis. You talk about chaos. ICE is doing all they can to make this the right way. We had the Renee Good was fatally shot. Federal officers claim the agent acted in self-defense.
Well, yeah, she tried to run him over with her car.
She did. We've all seen the video, but Frey publicly rejected that narrative as bullshit. That's what he said. Bullshit, after reviewing video evidence asserting that the driver was simply trying to flee. Following the shooting, Frey demanded that ICE agents get the FUCK out of Minneapolis. He said that right in the deal.
Yep.
And expressed deep concerns that federal actions were terrorizing long-term residents and risking the direct physical conflict between federal agents and local police. I can tell you one thing, Mr. Frey. Long-term residents were not terrorized. Long-term residents remember what it used to be long time ago, before all of these people started destroying and garbaging up our beautiful state.
He seems like such a whiny bitch, too.
Oh, he is. He is just he is a guy that probably got picked on most of his life. Now, because of their refusal to cooperate with immigration enforcement and their sharp public rhetoric, both Mayor Frey and Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, of course, they're targets of U.S. Department of Justice investigation examining potential conspiracy to obstruct federal law enforcement operations. So federal agencies, they're doing all these high-profile crackdowns on all the immigration and benefit frauds in Minnesota. That's where a lot of this started. $19 billion worth. Operation Twin Shields. That's over 1,000 cases. Got marriage fraud. I mean, look at Ilhan Omar. There's your marriage fraud right there. Visa overstays. We've got a ton of that. Forged documents. This has led to multiple arrests, including high-profile cases like serial fraudster working as a state corrections officer. How about Operation Paris? Now, this was from the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services Visiting Center. They're working on background checks, re-interviews, strict merit reviews, refugee claims to root out these frauds with all of these immigration systems. And then, of course, you had Operation Metro Surge. Now, look at all this fraud. Child nutrition program fraud. That's resulted in over 60 convictions, just that one. Housing stabilization services fraud, about $2.2 million. A lot of this is going on. Following all this stuff, of course, Tim Walz announced he would not seek re-election because I just think he's a chicken, but that's fine. House Oversight Committee launched investigations and held hearings regarding state officials' awareness of credible fraud concerns. This goes all the way back to 2019.
I've heard a whole bunch too. I think there's like $32 billion a year or something in fraud for Obamacare.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now, this is what pisses me off more than anything, and I think this is going to do the same for you. While major federal operations like Feeding Our Future resulted in multi-decade prison sentences, public frustration persists over state-level cases where fraudsters avoid permanent felony records, face reduced charges, or see dismissals due to evidentiary challenges, low restitution collections, and prior lenient sentencing guidelines. So, felony reductions? Investigations into state-level Medicaid fraud cases show that nearly 80%, so 8 out of 10 of these defendants who pleaded guilty received stays of education or agreements that reduce or dismiss their felony convictions after completing probation. So it's a stay of imposition. I rip you off $2 million. You're going to go on, I'm going to keep you on probation for 2 years. When your probation is up, it's dropped. It's completely done. Some high-profile fraud trials ended with judges acquitting defendants or dismissing charges entirely before a jury verdict due to issue with evidence provided by the state. Wouldn't even let it get that far. And they just say, nah, you're done. Also, they're showing that only a small fraction of court-ordered restitution, less than 18% in analyzed state fraud cases have been successfully paid back by offenders. So they're not going to get any of this money back. 18% of $19 billion. Legislation and congressional oversight reports criticize state agencies like the Minnesota Department of Human Services for continuing to disperse funds to high-risk groups. And you know why? It's out of fear of litigation or discrimination accusations rather than acting swiftly to halt payments. That's what they said this whole thing started a couple of years ago. Well, we didn't want them to complain about us nationally, and then everybody would know what we're really like. Now, some of these high-profile targets in recent state and federal medical assistance fraud cases, they did manage to flee the country or jump bail before even facing trial. Now, to counter perceptions that white-collar fraud is underpunished, Minnesota enacted stricter sentencing rules and passed the MAP Act, making prison time mandatory for major Medicaid fraud schemes exceeding $1 million. But that is something that Tim Walz had to do. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's got to do, we're going to up our fraud system now. We're going to get more people involved. We're going to stop this. Kind of late, dude.
Yeah.
$19 billion and counting.
Well, he's so full of shit, too, because they had already brought up, like, all these fraud issues, and him and Ellingson, that's right, Ellingson?
Yep. Keith Ellingson.
They actively stopped the investigations of the fraud. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's in their best interest to have the fraud go on because, they're getting kicked.
Ellison.
Yeah, Ellison. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Because, that they're getting paid.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, they're getting money behind the pocket, whether it comes in campaign contributions or something along those lines.
And then you see Ellison on some of these social media posts and stuff where he's just out prancing around with the locals and coming up. He won't come up here, not in our neck of the woods, but it's hilarious because when he was at the Senate and House committee hearings, did you see that smug bastard?
Oh, God.
I mean, they'd ask him a question and he'd just... look at him like, he
needs to get his ass whooped.
He does. He needs to go. Klobuchar needs to go. Frey needs to go. Ilhan Omar needs to go. And, of course, we will get rid of Walz. But Klobuchar, you got to be weary about her because she is being investigated. I can't remember what the term is that they use, but going to old folks' homes and getting names and putting those names in saying they voted.
Oh, sure.
When they didn't. Mm-hmm. And apparently it's proven that she did this, but I don't know. Like I said, go home.
Yeah.
But,
Well, Democrats are just cheaters. We all know that.
And what gets me is I know not everybody loves government. A lot of people hate them no matter what, even if they don't have a clue. They just don't like government. But I tell you what, North Dakota, you're damn lucky. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're a Republican-run state. You can say what you want about Republican-run states, but then go move to a Democratic-run state and see what you think. See how much your tune changes. Yeah. Because I think it will.
I've said this before, but quoting Mr. Wonderful, I can't remember his name now. For drawing a blank on it. He's been in Grand Forks a few times.
Oh, yeah. The businbusiness. Yeah.
He's even been to UND hockey games.
Yep.
Yeah, because he's really
up at the Hive. And,
he's active with the Hive and everything. Well, I'll just call him Mr. Wonderful. But yeah, he was on an interview on like Fox News or something, and he said, you look at North Dakota state policy versus Minnesota state policy, and he's like, if you go to Fargo, you're going to see all of these big businesses like Microsoft and these big tech companies and everything, and it's just this booming big city. And then he's like, and then you drive 15 miles over the bridge into Moorhead, and it looks like Cuba.
Yeah.
And he's like, because that's how Minnesota runs their state compared to North Dakota.
They don't care as long as everybody's happy in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Duluth, Rochester. Split the state in half. I would not have a problem with that going east or west or north and south. But if you go north and south, it better be way over towards the east side because the people up in the Iron Range are starting to come around now.
Yep.
This is going to be a big election coming up for sure.
Because obviously the huge voting base is going to be Minneapolis, and I'm
For
sure
sure.
there's going to be a lot of fraud and illegal immigrants and everything. But is there enough people in the state of Minnesota where Mike Lindell might actually have a chance if he touches the base of everybody outside of Minneapolis? Or is Minneapolis so condensed that it's like you just can't win?
Well, yeah, and they don't want voter ID.
Yeah.
Of course, the Dems don't. But what's so funny is when we were going through this so-called pandemic, they made you take a shot or lose your job. They made you stay home. They made you distance if you were out. They made you do all of these things, but they don't want voter ID. They don't want you to have to show an ID proving you are a resident of Minnesota. Now, you tell me you're hiding something. Tell me you're not hiding something. That is just total BS.
It's just funny. I mean, because people have been talking about this, but anybody that's been under a rock. So that Mom Donnie out of New York.
New York, God, is he a dummy?
Well, he opened up, a government-run grocery store that's supposed to be 30% less than every other grocery store.
Yep.
And what's the requirement to not get ripped off? You need to show your ID. Yeah, so you need to go out and you need to get like a library card or something, and you need to show that you're a citizen of New York in order to shop at his government-run grocery store. Oh, but you don't need one to vote.
No, you don't need one to vote. Isn't he also the same guy that was going to have free subway rides, free bus
they were
rides?
Like, you can't do that.
And then they basically doubled the cost of that. And then it's like, oh no, if it's going to be cheaper. Well, now he's got that rich tax out there where people that worked their butts off to earn the money, now they're going to get taxed because they own too much money.
Well, they're just all going to leave.
Oh, they all are going to leave. Yeah. And New York, you know what? I look at it as, and I loved California when I lived out there. I still have friends out there. But as far as I'm concerned, New York, California could both fall off the face of the planet. They could just fall into the ocean. I would be perfectly fine with that. Give them a deadline. Maybe the good people will move out of the state and move somewhere else.
Well, even that Mom Donnie said that he was going to arrest Netanyahu if he showed up in New York. And they're like, dude, you can't do that. You're just the mayor of New York.
Just a mayor. That's like this Frey for Minneapolis. You're just a mayor, dude. Yeah. That's all you are. You're a mayor that wants to be in the news all the time, whether you're dancing and singing and eating Somalian food and all that
with
stuff.
With your hands.
With your hands, yeah. Well, that's the way they do it.
Yeah.
And then they also poop in bathtubs. But, that's for a different show.
Hey, speaking of good news, so the stream has been going really good now after we, for some reason,
issues at the beginning.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's we have a light burnt out or if it's because our Alexa wasn't working, but my light is not on.
Oh no!
Yeah,
another one.
But I don't. But that could be because I activated it from my phone, so maybe that wasn't part of the program.
Alexa's not listening today,
or it's just burnt out because we've just having a chain of bad luck around.
Oh,
here.
we sure have. 701-213-0863 if we're still getting out there. 701-213-0863 for Forks BS. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about some stuff going on in Detroit Lakes, which I think it's awesome. A lot of people don't. But it's going to be fun to talk about. Should take a little break first. Again, folks, we'll be right back. Pillows, ice, and rainbows no more. This is Forks BS on Grand Forks Best Source. Give us a minute. We'll be right back. The Red Clay Strays Grateful Tour is coming to the Alaris Center on August 18th. Get your tickets now at the Alaris box office or online at Ticketmaster.com. go see the Red Clay Strays. And also, I'm hoping Rumor Sports Bar and Casino right here in the Midtown District Mall has a bus going there. They usually have buses to all the big concerts, all the big UND sporting events. It's a great place. They're open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. Go on in there. They got great lunch and dinner specials. They got that express lunch, room for parties, got the world-famous beer tower. While you're there watching your favorite sporting team on TV, you can bet on the horses, you can play bingo, you can try your luck with charitable gaming. Monday, they've got DJ Trivia Night, the Initials game every second Tuesday night. Just an awesome bar with an awesome atmosphere. Today's special, burger and a side. Check them out. They got weekly specials from 5 to 11 o'clock every day, except Sunday. Check them out, Rumor Sports Bar and Casino, right here in the Midtown District Mall. All right, we're back. Pillows, ice, and rainbows no more. This is Forks BS. Anything you want to talk about, feel free to text or call. 701-213-0863 is our number. New Detroit Lake School Board directive changing what students and staff can display on their backpacks, lockers, and classroom doors. And this is sparking strong pushback from some students. So here's the deal. July 27th, the Detroit Lake School Board voted 4-2 to ban any non-school materials that are not funded, sponsored, or authorized by the district. Now, the directive specifically calls out rainbow stickers, posters, buttons, and flags, which some teachers have used as symbols of support for the LGBTQ plus students. So I don't know, non-school materials now, does that mean they cannot fly the United States flag or the Minnesota flag? Or, I mean, not fly it, but have it on their backpacks or anything? Because really, that's a non-school material, but I wonder if that's part of the ban, or are they just jumping it and running with it because they know that means no more rainbow stickers?
Yeah, I don't know, because I'm thinking that, like, the flag has to be, like, approved by the school. I mean, it's the United States flag.
Right, right.
But, yeah, I mean, I totally behind the no rainbow bullshit.
Oh, I am, too. The item was not listed on the meeting agenda, so Superintendent Mark Jensen said the motion came as a surprise. It also came as a shock to Molly Joe, a soon-to-be senior at Detroit Lakes High School. I could not believe that our school board would be the one doing it, she said. My old choir teacher used to have a pride flag hanging up in his office. Like, we were very open and accepting right before this, so I'm shocked to hear about all of this.
Yeah, but that's the problem right there. Why does that guy have a pride flag hanging in the classroom?
Well, I'll give you one idea, one guess.
Yeah, right?
So again, now going back to July 27th, the school board discussion began over small rainbow stickers on about a dozen classrooms. Teachers placed them on doors to quietly signal that their rooms are safe space for LGBTQ plus students. Well, this Molly person said that the new ban is specifically confusing because Detroit Lakes High School already has a school-sanctioned Gay Straight Alliance Club. It just shocks me that they would take away students' rights to be able to express who they are, who they want to be. Truly, it feels like they're telling them to be quiet, almost like they're no longer welcomed here.
Well, it's because you're supposed to go to there to learn.
Exactly. The 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Yeah. I just said it was arithmetic, though, isn't it?
No, it's the 3 R's. Well, yeah, it is arithmetic, but they just say arithmetic. It's part of the saying. Yeah. So, yeah, it's like, wait a minute. Did you go to school in Detroit Lakes? Supporters of the directive say it's about keeping politics out of school and argue that the same ban should apply to items referencing gun rights or gun control, abortion, or pro-life groups. They say districts should not appear to take sides on hot-button issues. Opponents counter the rainbow symbols are not campaign signs or slogans, but basic signals of safety and acceptance. So if you wear an NRA hat, if you wear an I Love Guns hat, if you anything like that, that's not allowed.
Yeah, and
it should
I'm
be that way.
Fine with that.
Exactly.
If I walked into my kid's classroom and they had an NRA flag hanging on there, I'd be like, "Why is that hanging up?" Like,
exactly.
What is that doing in the classroom?
And
just why do you have your support for the LGBTQ community in your classroom? It has nothing to do with your curriculum.
Right. It has nothing to do with you're educating my child. Back in the day, when I went to school, I mean, this was a long time ago, we used to be able to drive up and we had gun racks in the back window of our pickups. You know, you could go to school with a shotgun in your back window and it wasn't a big deal.
Yep.
It'd park right in school parking. It was not a big deal. Well, it's a complete violation upon civil rights, First Amendment rights, upon human beings' rights, according to this Molly. She told Valley News Live students are working on a response and plan to make their views visible when classes resume in the fall. Molly Joe, what we're wanting to do is spread around stickers, buttons, and flags on the first day of school, she said, which is against what they're doing. So for now, the directive remains in place. The debate over whether rainbow symbols are political or personal is growing louder in the district. Board is scheduled to reconvene August 24th for its next meeting. So what's going to happen is this Molly Joe, or whatever her name is, she's going to get a bunch of people to put these stickers on everything for the first day of school. And then what? Who are they going to whine to then if they get suspended? Mm-hmm. You know, if they get kicked out of school.
And what's her agenda? Why is she so active in trying to get this, like, to go out and tell everybody to put rainbows on all your crap? Like, what are you trying to do? These are kids. You're trying to make them activists for your stupid movement.
Yep. She just wants to hear people say Molly Joe.
Yeah.
That's all. She just wants to hear her name. Now, proponents argue the district must remain neutral on social and political topics. Supporters claim visible symbols alienate some families and contribute to students leaving the public school. That's just stupid. Just get rid of it all. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on, what color it is.
Well, I think the whole public school just needs to be completely reformed.
It does. Now, you know, those were some of the arguments for the ban, but the people against it, some of the board members actually stated that rainbow items serve as quiet symbols of safety and support for LGBTQ plus students. Opponents criticized the surprise, last-minute nature of the vote and predicted pushback from students in the community heading into the school year.
You know, you want to do that shit in college, go for it.
Yeah, that's fine.
But in public school, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. And you know what? A lot of people aren't fortunate enough to be able to put their kids in a private school.
Absolutely.
That's why I think that the money should follow the kids, not the school. Mm-hmm. So if you want to put your kid in a private school, you get the money from the government to do it. You don't have to put them in a public school because of shit like this.
Yep.
And I mean, you know, like you saw my post, and I'm going to be relentless on this. I want Terry Brenner fired. Like, because it's nothing but politics in public school. During that whole COVID thing, everybody was going to the school board meetings and telling him, like, kids shouldn't be wearing masks, kids shouldn't be 6 feet apart, all this stuff. But he was just, you know, following the science, doing his political BS. And it was all just a bunch of BS. And we were trying to tell that. I mean, even Dr. Gene Golix is a child psychologist. Yeah. And he would just... Dr. Gene Golix. I apologize.
Yep.
And he wouldn't even listen to her.
No.
And he's got his mask on. And I could see right through that mask, his smug just...
And how many times has he been reprimanded over the last few years, too?
I know. I mean, and then he just keeps giving himself raises.
Yeah. He just keeps giving himself raises. I'm so glad I did not have a child or children in school at that time, in public school.
I have PTSD from it.
Oh, I bet. And you're dealing with your kids now of what happened then. Wearing the masks, being forced to wear the masks, the distancing, all of that stuff. We're all finding out now that it's total BS. And by the way, we are back on YouTube. And I don't know if you guys ever heard about what happened to us, but we got banned from YouTube for life because we had talked bad about the vaccine. And if I got this right now, we talked on one of the shows. It was more than one that we talked about the vaccine. And it took like a year or so before they saw it and dumped us. And now you look at everything on social media, and it's all about how bad the vaccine was and how many people it's killing now. And now everybody's doing a double take like they did with us. You'll never get any advertisers. You guys are nut jobs. You have no idea what you're talking about. You guys are evil. You don't know you're killing people. Now they're all coming up to us and saying, you know what? You were right.
Well, it's called common frickin' sense.
Yeah.
Who the hell thinks that standing 6 feet away from a person from a virus is going to do anything? And putting 2 masks on instead of 1 is going to do anything. It's so asinine. And all these sheep just followed in footstep. And Terry Brenner is one of them.
Yep.
I'm not even going to call him a doctor. He doesn't even deserve that title.
Yep. Well,
maybe he saved some people's lives. I don't know.
Well, as of this month, multiple states have implemented sweeping laws that effectively ban the display of LGBTQ plus pride flags and unsanctioned symbols in all public K through 12 schools. So I'm amazed that Detroit Lakes did this. because it's a Minnesota school. But Utah did this in 2025. It's a $500 daily fine. Idaho did the same thing. Tennessee, same thing. No pride flags in classrooms, limiting displays primary to U.S. and state flags. That's it, primarily. Dozens of individual school districts across the country have passed socialized or localized policies restricting rainbow flags, stickers, or safe place indicators.
And you know what? Here's the thing that is just my biggest issue with this. Like, okay, if you're gay, whatever, I don't care. But they are just trying to shovel that shit down everybody's throat at every opportunity that they can. Just back up.
Yeah, and how many times have we said that since we've created Grand Forks Best Source? I don't care what you do, when you do it, as long as you're not pushing your agenda on me. You're not pushing your agenda on my children. You're not trying to force feed and make my kids drink your Kool-Aid because you think everybody should be like you. Well, we got Detroit Lakes, North Carolina, Johnson County School Board did the same thing. Chino Valley Unified School District in California. Newburgh School Board inherited high-profile ban on pride flags in Oregon, which surprises me because Oregon is pretty much like Minnesota. Additional district level restrictions have been documented by civil rights organizations like the American Civil Liberties Union in Florida, Texas, Indiana, Missouri, and Pennsylvania. Public backlash, though, has been pouring in following this decision by Detroit Lake School Board. Banning it outright makes a lot of people, especially these kids. I mean, I can't even imagine how scary that would be to feel like you are automatically nixed from everything because they don't want you included, former Detroit Lake student Killian Juarez said. What do you mean they don't want you included? Just because they don't have a sticker on their classroom door, that doesn't mean anything. What you're saying is everybody should acknowledge you.
Yeah. Well,
I didn't want that. I didn't want everybody looking at me in school.
I was on, I mean, this was a couple of years ago, but I was on, I think I was UND campus, and there was a bathroom and it said all gender bathroom. So what does that mean? It has a toilet? I mean, what's an all gender bathroom?
Right.
Okay, so a men's room has a urinal. That's why it's a men's room.
Yep.
Because a urinal, you stand up and you pee into it.
Yep.
An all gender bathroom is just an effing toilet.
Right.
I mean, all you have to do is just say bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, why does it have to say all gender? Just say bathroom. But if you want to say men's room, well, then you know that you're going into a room where men go to get a urinal.
Yeah, right. It is ridiculous.
And if it's a women's room, my assumption would be that it's cleaner and it has stalls.
Right.
This is a no-brainer.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just blows my mind.
In this Detroit Lakes things, they're saying there were no concerns inside the school. The principal didn't hear anything. No students had come to administration or teachers, no staff. There was no problem happening at the schools with these 10 stickers that were on the teachers' doors. It's according to school board member Julie Smith Yimieni. How does she know? Did she talk to them all? This Killian Juarez we were talking about, by the way, was the first openly transgender student at Detroit Lakes High School, says that this decision left her furious. So Killian is a her. Or whatever. It's like a relief to see that one, you go into a classroom and there's a sticker to say like, I'm safe here. I can be who I am here. And there's not many places like that at Detroit Lakes. So it would have been nice, even when I was in school, to have that. Taking that away from kids that already have that, I think is kind of evil, Juarez said. Well, school board member Michael Walther, who introduced the measure, refused to comment on the process, said his goal was not to be discriminatory and he hoped to bring students back to the district. I really believe that there's a push to validate the behavior, Weather said. Again, he does not want to be discriminatory, but that's the same thing as putting a sticker on there saying all non-LGBTQ plus people are welcome.
Yeah.
It's like you've got the United Negro College Fund. What if you had the United Non-Negro College Fund? Yeah. I mean, come on. Double standards here all the time. Walter said, I really believe there's a push to validate that behavior. I'm ordained with an organization, and the head of it was an enforcer, and he killed over 20 people. I validated him, but I don't validate his behavior, he continued. I've talked to quite a number of people who are reluctant to do some of the advocacy of the staff, their personal preferences. But school board member Julie Smith Yimieni says they don't have any data to back that up, and the way the process was conducted meant they would not hear from supporters. That would have been on the agenda Monday. I promise you the room would have been filled, and that's part of what is unfair. Juarez wants LGBTQ plus students to know whether it's in schools or not. There are people out there who support him and support them. I hope it changes. I hope they remove the ban. But if it's not important to go to the places in the community where you can be you and find people who are like you and interact with these spaces, even if you can't get it at school, you can get it somewhere. Exactly. It does not have to be in our schools. Quit it with your agendas. You're there to learn. You're there to educate. You're there for our future. Get an education. You're not there to show off your LGBTQ plus stuff. And again, we don't have a problem with them. We're not anti. It's just not going to happen in my house. It's not going to happen in my son's and daughter-in-law's house. It's not going to happen with my kids or my grandkids. And it's not going to be pushed on me. Yeah. I don't push my views on you. You don't have to push yours on me. Get rid of it all. Get rid of it all. Maybe all you need is, okay, and these people will complain now, well, what about the American flag? Screw you. The American flag stays. Otherwise, just have your school mascot stickers on the walls and the doors and the windows, and that's it. And your schoolroom number, and get rid of them all.
And like I said, all they're trying to do is sexualize kids. Mm-hmm. I mean, what would a straight pride parade look like?
Right.
You know,
bunch of guys like us.
Yeah. But you get these gay pride, these LGBT alphabet soup parades, and you got people wearing dog masks on leashes, walking around in thongs, or crawling around in thongs rather. Mm-hmm. People on a float with dildos strapped to them.
Yeah.
And then they're half naked, wearing angel feathers and crap like that. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Like, this is not a freedom of expression. This is you specifically being a pervert.
Yeah.
That's it to me.
If I had a child that, or my kid was in high school and dressed like a dog, or say they identified as a dog, or had a dildo stuck to their forehead, they would be living in what I would identify as a dog house. Mm-hmm. My kid would not. I don't care. I don't care. When you're up until you're 18, and this is how I grew up, this is how you grew up. It's mom and dad's house. You go by mom and dad's rules.
Yep.
If mom and dad don't want you acting like you're a dog, you do not. If they don't want you with a dildo stuck to your forehead, you do not, or you go find a place to live, and I don't care what you think about it.
And if you want to do that in your community, you want to do that. But the minute you enter minors into it, that's when I have a freaking problem with it. If you're having a parade and kids are there and you're throwing candy at kids and you have a dildo on your head, sorry, I don't, not going with it. Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. I'd like to go to a Detroit Lake sporting event and see what the people dress like in the bleachers, basketball, football, hockey game. Maybe I'll get lucky enough to see a Detroit Lakes East Grand Forks hockey game this year. We'll have to see. But
and this is all a plan designed to break down like Christianity and the family household, and raising kids and doing all that stuff. I think that this is a design program to just take over civilization and try to control everybody.
And you wonder why our education system in the United States is failing now, and the percentage of kids that don't know how to read, write, and do their math.
Yeah, you know how stupid we are compared to like kids in China?
Because they're worried about LGBTQ plus stuff. Yeah. They're not worried about educating.
And even in China on TikTok, the only things that the kids see on TikTok are educational things.
Right.
Things that they like want to become, things that they can aspire to be. In America, no, just dicks on heads.
Yeah. That's why in China, you don't see the kids all doing this.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe you do.
Well, maybe you do, but they're learning.
They're probably doing math.
They're learning. They're not leering.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're doing math. I want my phone back. I want to do more math. Yeah. Oh, jeepers. Wouldn't that be something? I think we pretty much got everything out of there. I am really amazed, though, that Detroit Lakes pulled the plug on this thing and was the first one. Because Minnesota, I did not think it was going to happen. I'm so glad it did. I wish something like that would go on around here. Again, we're not against the LGBTQ plus community. We just personally ourselves think It has no right in our public schools. That's it. When you're old enough to get out of public school, you're over 18 years old or whatever, then when you're an adult, you can do whatever you want. Otherwise, I don't think so. And the teachers that are pushing this stuff, my God, I'm so glad it wasn't like that when I grew up. I'm so glad it wasn't like that when my kid went to school. And I pity a lot of the parents out there now. I mean, I get what you're going through. It's not good.
Yep.
It's not good. Folks, you got to think about next week's edition of Forks BS, all right? Otherwise, you're just going to have to keep listening to us spew all this stuff out. Give us a topic. Email us if you want. local@gfbestsource.com. Give us a topic. Be ready. We're not going to throw you under the bus. We will debate you, but that's going to be about it. If you bring the stuff to the table, you bring your facts, that's all we can do is debate you. All right? Don't just say, well, I saw it on Facebook, because that's not what we do. Forks BS, thank you, folks. Today's show brought to you by Grand Forks Comic-Con. Calling all superheroes, gamers, comic book fans, and pop culture enthusiasts. Get ready for Grand Forks Comic-Con 2026, returning to the Alara Center on August 8th and 9th for an unforgettable weekend of fandom, fun, and adventure. Experience incredible cosplay contests, meet talented artists and creators, attend exciting live panels, and explore a massive vendor floor packed with comics, collectibles, board games, Warhammer 401k, Magic: The Gathering, game merchandise, and so much more. Whether you're a lifelong fan or introducing the family to the world of comics and pop culture, there's something for everyone at Grand Forks Comic-Con. Single day and weekend passes are available now, so don't wait. Follow Grand Forks Comic-Con on Facebook for guest announcements, event schedules, and the latest updates. Mark your calendars for August 8th and 9th at the Alara Center and join thousands of fans for the biggest pop culture celebration in the region. Grand Forks Comic-Con 2026, where fandom comes to life. Get your tickets today. Watching Forks BS today. Dirty Thursday, brought to you by River City Speedway, is back tomorrow. Hall of Fame Day. We're going to be talking with newly inducted Hall of Famer Bobby Martin. Also, newly inducted Todd LaHaye will be calling us up. Ryan Flayton will be in. Take a call. Got another new inductee. Make sure to tune in as we give all 4 of the new inductees a heads up tomorrow and a thanks. Make sure you tune in, all right? And make sure to like, share, tag, and follow us. Hit that notification bell on your smartphone. You never miss a show that way. We love the Forks. We're Grand Forks' best source. We're giving the Forks their identity back.